This is a very special video because today I'm going to walk you through exactly how to optimize a product in Google Merchant Center. Now, you hear it all the time on YouTube, on every other educational outlet for Google Ads. You need to optimize your product feed in Merchant Center and you need to optimize your products. But what does that really mean? A lot of people will walk you through and they'll say titles, descriptions, images, everything like that. But very rarely do you get a live walkthrough in a Merchant Center account showing you exactly what to do, what every field means, and exactly how it works. And that's what I want to do for you today. So today I'm going to walk through from top to bottom every single field on a Google Merchant Center product listing, how to optimize it effectively, what you need to write, what you need to do to make sure that you are getting the most out of your Google Ads. So let's get right into it. First of all, this is all like a fake product I've got here. I've just made up a fake brand name, Baby Toys, and we've got a product with images, descriptions, titles, everything like this. I'm going to walk you through every single field, show you what you should be doing and why. So let's get right into it. First of all, we have our URL. So this is the product page on your store that you want the user to land on after clicking on your product. So you don't want to make this your homepage. You don't want to make this your collections page. You need to make it your product page, because when a user clicks on your product, they're expecting to be taken directly to the page for that product. If you take them to the homepage, if you take them to the collection page, it's going to introduce unnecessary friction. That's going to make the purchasing process harder and slower. So what we want to do is always take them to the right page, which is the product page, right? Now you can also sometimes use, advertorial style, more salesy pages. As long as you have the product on there and an ability to purchase a product, you should be okay. But consider testing pages like that as a side tip for you. Consider testing advertorial sale pages. You may get a better chance, better conversion rate, and you can do that actually by duplicating products in Merchant Center and split testing some of the product features. So if we were to change, for example, the URL on here and then on a different product, we can split test how well they perform against each other. So that is the URL. Pretty straightforward. Just send it to the product page in 99% of cases. And if you have a special page for your product, you can send it there as well. But it does have to have the actual product on the page. Next up is the title. Now the title is very, very important. Probably the most important factor alongside your image. And it really determines a lot in Google Ads because it determines two main things. It determines firstly how Google interprets your product and who it shows your product to. And then secondly, it determines who clicks through to the product. So you have to appease kind of two sides of a coin here. One side is making the Google algorithm happy with the right words, the right keywords, the right indicators, everything like that. And the other side is making the consumer happy and making them very likely to click through on your ad and make a purchase. So how do we do that? First of all, you want to describe the product, right? Pretty straightforward. So in this case, it's a wooden Montessori busy board. So the product is a busy board. That's what we're calling this product here, because it's a baby toy that keeps the child busy and keeps their brain stimulated. So we've called it the wooden Montessori busy board because it describes, Montessori is like the style of toy. So this is like a specific style of toys that's kind of trendy right now, Montessori toys. And it's made of wood, obviously. So a wooden Montessori busy board is what we call the product. And then after that, you want to explain what the product does. So sensory activity toy for toddlers, right? Now this need to be in here because it's a potential trigger for someone's search. If someone is looking for a toy like this, they're not always searching for a busy board because they may not know what it's called, right? They may just be looking for a sensory activity toy for toddlers. So that would be a very common search. And when someone searches for that, first of all, your product is going to show because that word is that keyword is in your title. So it means that your product will show on that search. And then beyond that, the user is going to see this sensory activity toy for toddlers and go, oh wow, that's exactly what I'm looking for. They're going to click through and check out your product. And then we start to describe some of the features of the product, right? LED light switches and fidget controls. So those are some of the primary features that make the product unique and make someone want to purchase the product. We have LED light switches and fidget controls. If you were selling a gym shirt, for example, this could be moisture wicking fabric, or it could be tight fitting around the biceps or whatever it may be, right? But outlining features that describe the unique benefits of the product. And then finally, you have the benefits themselves, right? So this is the benefit of the product, fine motor skill development. So this outlines why someone want to purchase the product and what the downstream effect of the product is. It's fine motor skill development. So, a consumer, for example, would see that, a parent would see that and go, oh, wow, I really do want a product that develops my child's motor skills. That's a great idea. And so now, once again, they're even more likely to purchase. So the structure we've done in this title is essentially product, description of the product, features of the product, and then benefits of the product. And if you follow a structure like that, which is product, description, features, benefits, you pretty much cannot go wrong, because it allows you to both satisfy the algorithm by giving it all the keywords it needs and all the description of the product, and satisfy your consumers by making it very clear why they should buy and click through. So that's a masterclass on how to write a good title in Google Merchant Center. And I think, honestly, if you can write that for all your products, you're going to absolutely kill it with your Merchant Center optimization. Next up, brand. Pretty self-descript, pretty easy. All you gotta do is put in your brand name. In this case, I'll put in the fake brand name, Baby Toys, right? Okay, now description. So after your title and images, description is next on the scale of importance. What does a description do? It doesn't really do much with regards to consumers, to be honest. Like, people don't see your description, but Google sees your description, and Google uses your description to target your product effectively. This is essentially where you can stuff in all of the keywords that are relevant to your product that you can't fit in your title. Now, a side note on the title, by the way, you usually want to be taking up almost all 150 of those characters. You can see here I've done 134 out of 150. That's because the more characters you have, the more chance you have of describing the product well and getting matched on more searches and the right searches. So make sure you use your characters there. Also, you want to use quite a few characters in your description here. You can see we've used 4,700 out of 5,000 characters. And once again, it's because it allows us to enter more features, more descriptors, and more keywords and trigger words that will help Google target our product to the right people. So you can see here, we've got introduce your toddler to hands-on learning with Montessori Busy Board, just a quick introduction, curiosity, focus, and fun. Now, what we want to be focusing on in the description is to include keywords that are likely to trigger searches relevant to the product, right? And I'll show you what that means. So for example, if someone were to search for a wooden sensory toy, we could be showing up because it's in the description, right? If someone were to search for motor skill development toy, we'd be showing up because it's in the description. Screen-free toys, right? 10 unique swatches, LED bulbs. So someone searched toy with LED bulbs and swatches, right? Eco-friendly, this is another huge one. Often people will be searching for eco-friendly children's toys, eco-friendly baby toys. Really, really big one. Teaches cause and effect, provides quiet entertainment. That's another one, right? Travel and home use, children's toy for travel. Lightweight board, encourages focus and creativity. There's so many keywords in here, right? And this can be a bit overwhelming. As I'm sure you can imagine, there's a lot of stuff here, right? And the thing is, once again, more keywords, right? Hand-eye coordination, language and learning, focus and independence. So any of these kind of keywords could be triggering now new angles, new searches, and new niches just because we have more descriptors. But as I was about to say, it can be a bit overwhelming to write, 5,000 characters worth of description. So the beauty of AI nowadays is you can just go into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever your preferred system is, your preferred AI. Go in there and say, hey, here's my product. Drop it your product page link. Drop it your title that you have written already. I do recommend usually writing a title by hand because it's a lot shorter. You can do that. You can also use ChatGPT or AI for title inspiration. I don't have an issue with that, but make sure that you do tweak it to follow the right structure and make sure that it sounds good and it rolls off and it fits your brand and all that kind of stuff. But for the description, what you can do is you can prompt your AI assistant to go, hey, look, here's my product page, dump it in, give it a brief description of your product and say, can you please write a Google Merchant Center description that fills all of the important keywords and hits necessary angles and marketing angles so I can get as much reach as possible to high intent audiences. That's a great prompt. If you give it that prompt, it's probably going to spit out a description pretty similar to this. And if you say, make it under 5,000 characters, probably again going to go sort of closer to that 5,000 character mark. And again, review it, make sure everything is relevant. And when you do review it, one important thing to do is make sure that you don't have any irrelevant keywords. ChatGPT could, spill a little bit off the rail if it doesn't fully understand your product, and it could start moving into different niches that aren't quite relevant to your product. That's a problem. If you have keywords that are not relevant to the product, it means you're going to be showing on the wrong searches and you're going to be bringing in the wrong kind of traffic. So make sure that when you do review anything written by AI, that you're inputting a fully developed description that is completely relevant to your product and has been basically fact-checked and quality check to ensure everything is accurate. But once again, use AI to your advantage, use your efficiency to your advantage. You can write this whole thing yourself if you want. I personally don't have the patience to do it most of the time. But if you desire, it's totally possible. But keep in mind when you are writing this description, once again, this description is for Google. So you need to make sure that every single thing you write is giving Google more information on who your ideal customer is, what your product looks like, and what people are searching for your product. Keep that all in mind when you're writing and follow my advice here, and I'm sure you guys will end up with a really high quality description. All right, and honestly, that's the hard part done. Title and description are the two hardest parts, in my opinion. Images are next up. These are super important, right? This is what people see. This is why shopping ads work so well in e-commerce brands, is because they have the visual appeal. Shopping ads have that visual point that nothing else has in Google, apart from display in YouTube, of course, but on the Google search results, that visual appeal of the product itself makes it really, really clickable for a user. So we've got to make sure we have good images, right? When it comes to making good images, you need to be split testing between a range of images. So you can see here, this is pretty much just a stock image of the product on a cream color background. This is basically just like a product image without any kind of lifestyle aspect. But then we also included some lifestyle images too. So this is an example of the product in use. This is an example of the product labeled, and some close-ups as well. Basically throw in as many photos as you can. But if you want to figure out whether lifestyle or straight colored background works better for you, white background, black background, colored background, whatever it is, you can split test them once again as different products, or just over different time spans. You may run the product alone with this cream colored background for a month, and then you run it with a lifestyle image as a primary image for a month and see which one performs better. Ideally removing other images as well to minimize the number of variables. But also split testing across products is another option, duplicating the merchant center, split testing across them. But my main point here, make sure that you have a high quality image, make sure that your image clearly shows your product. And if it is a more complex product that has a very specific use, I do recommend using a lifestyle image so you can show the product in action, make it very clear what the user is getting out of it and why the user should be considering clicking on it and purchasing it. So that's all for images. Next up, product type. This one is pretty much fully up to you. This is just for your own product data, but it does give Google a little bit more information as well. Honestly, I could probably put a little bit more in here, but we've just done this for now, Busyball, because this is fine. It's sufficient. This is actually probably more important, right? So this is Google's product categories and Google's taxonomy. So you can go and find Google's taxonomy by clicking through here, and you'll see they have a very wide range of drop downs for specific products, right? So in this case, we're looking at educational toys. So under the educational toys banner, make sure to go as specific as you can with these drop downs. The more information, once again, that you give Google, the better your product will perform. Condition, once again, new, used, whatever. I imagine most of you would have a new condition on your product. And then in here, you got to choose your price and your sale price. So price is going to be the base price that appears on the listing. But then if you add the sale price, then you'll get the crossed out base price with the green sale price. I always recommend adding sale price. It's way more visually appealing, makes a customer way more likely to click. And those green numbers compared to the gray ones or black ones always do better. So add in a sale price if you can. It has to be real. It has to be genuinely matched to the prices on your website. If these prices don't match the data on your website, you're going to get flagged, your product will be suspended, and you won't be able to show the product until the prices are aligned. So make sure that these prices are always aligned with your website. If you change a price on your website, make sure it's automatically syncing through your content API, or you're updating it manually in the Google Merchant Center listing, because again, your products will be disabled if your prices don't match the page. Next up, GTIN. Now, this is just a random number I made up, but your GTIN, you would know what a GTIN is if you have one. It's basically your barcode number for your product. It's something you kind of need to buy it for your own brand. If you run a brand, right, you need to buy these GTINs. Now, if you have a GTIN, put it in. It will give you an advantage in Merchant Center. Once again, the more complete your listing is, the more happy Google will be and the more they will push your products and give you reach. So enter your GTIN if you have one. If you don't worry about it. Just leave it blank. It's completely fine. I've still run many successful stores without GTINs. It's just a little bit of extra help that you can give it. Next up, we got language, obviously. All of our products are in English, so can't change this. Countries, this is based on data source. So just up in your corner here, you'll see data source where you can edit that. Marketing methods, free listings, shopping ads, dynamic marketing, can't change anything there. Now labels, these are custom labels you can add. For example, Montessori, you can add a custom label to group products into specific groupings, right? So if you have specific kind of categories within categories, or you have specific margins, maybe this product is 80% margin while other products are 40% margin. You can add these as custom categories with these custom labels. So you create a custom label and you add it to all of the products relevant to that label or category, and it will help you classify things in the Google Ads platform. It can be very, very helpful if you're trying to group things together. Next up, color. In this case, we don't really have a color for the product, so I've just left that blank. Again, this is all optional stuff, but the more information you can provide, the better. I love to include color and size when obviously you're using clothing and apparel. As you can see here, it is for apparel, but we've tried to include some things in here, right? So this is for a toddler, material is wooden, gender is unisex. Always just try to include as much information as you can. And then you have your shipping and returns, which is something for another entire video, to be honest. But you can add a shipping label here if one of your specific shipping methods is relevant to this product. And that's it. Honestly, once you've done all that, all you have to do is click save and you are good to go. That is exactly how you can optimize a product to effectively run a Google shopping campaign on Google Ads for this product. And obviously you might have to do this with a few products. The more you have, the longer it takes, unfortunately. And you can use feed management software to accelerate that process if you do have a big catalog. But in any case, this is the perfect guide on exactly how to optimize a Google Merchant Center product. The main takeaway from this is to remember always that you have to satisfy Google and you have to satisfy the customer. So make sure with everything that is customer facing, images, titles, prices, reviews, shipping, everything customer facing is satisfying the customer, and everything Google facing, such as description, all those other features, once again, prices, make sure they're aligned, everything keyword related, make sure that you are satisfying Google. If you satisfy both the customer and Google on all of your products, then you will succeed with your Google shopping ads and you will make a lot of money for your brand. That's all from me today. I hope you found this video super helpful. If you have any suggestions for further videos, please drop them in the comments below. If you want help optimizing your merchant center, you don't want to do it yourself, you need someone to do it for you, we'll do a great job for you. Just book a call at the link down below. If you need any help with Google Ads at all, feel free to book a call. I'm more than happy to chat with you about it. But that is all from me today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.